Hello, hello, hello. So, tonight I was working on this reverse between function and finally solved it after a few days of scratching my head and being angry. But yeah, let's walk through it. Um, yeah, this is a reverse between function. So, pretty much you enter in two integers and they represent the indices of the list. So, let's say we have a linked list such as this one, and the indices are like this. If I say, if I do the reverse between and then m is 1, n is 3, then that means I want 4 to be on this side and then 2 to be on this side. So I want 4 and 2 to switch pretty much. And it reverses that order within those indices. So let's walk through the code. Okay, so I create a pointer variable called dummy1 and it's equal to a new node. Here, this is what it represents right here. And then I set that node, I point it at head, which is, head is another pointer variable pointing at the first node in the linked list. So that essentially does this, and it moves it over. And that'll help out later. Next up, we got the next line of code, create another pointer variable called prev, and I point that at dummy1. So, actually, I'm writing it like this. Dummy1. I'm just gonna say P. Alright, there's my pointer variable. It's pointing there, and you'll see why I point it at dummy1 rather than pointing it at head. We have a for loop, okay, and this essentially moves the pointer variable prev to m to the first index, or actually it moves it just behind the first index. So like let's say we wanna reverse indices 1 and 3. So that would look like this pretty much. So m would equal 1, n would equal 3. And since m is equal to 1 right here, this program is only going to execute once. So prev is going to be equal to prev next. That's going to look like this. Prev is equal to prev next. And now, oops, wait, let me so I don't mess up the 0. So prev is going to be equal to prev next, and m increments, or actually, sorry, I increments, and now I is equal to 1. 1 is not less than 1, so computer moves past this for loop and goes to this line of code. Pointer variable current is created, and it's going to be equal to prev next, and that just sets current equal to the actual node that the user gave as the first index. So now current's equal to this, and I created this variable called repeat. It's equal to n minus m, so 3 minus 1, that's 2. And we're gonna need to know that because we need to know how many times to repeat the loop that reverses each node. Alright, so here's the actual part of the loop that does the reversing. We create another pointer variable called toMove. It's going to be equal to current next. So toMove going to equal to current next. And yeah, you can see here current next is going to be equal to move next. So the 2 is going to point at the 4. Then to move next is going to be equal to prev next. So the 3 is going to point at the 2, and then prev next is equal to move. Then the 1's are going to point at the 3. So it's pretty much just going to do this. Let me just get these guys out of the way. Boom, bam. Oops. Boom. So it switches, right? And it does all of that in that line of these lines of code. And then since we're at the end of the last code, I is gonna increment. I is equal to 1. I is still less than repeat, which is 2. So it's gonna do this code one more time, and it's gonna pretty much move this 4 all the way in front of prev next, and that completes the function. And then finally at the end I set head equal to dummy1 next, so we can still keep track of where the head is in the linked list. And that's all of it. Let's give it a test. Just the classic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how we format it. Use a bunch of arrows. Oh my god, I can't type. What do we say? 1 and 3. Okay. Oops. Rookie mistake. Alright, let's check it out. Boom. Would you look at that? Pretty gangster. Let's say, let's just reverse the whole linked list. Let's just do that. So it should, print out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Pretty darn fancy if you ask me. And, I realized that I should, delete this guy right here. This guy right here. So we don't have unnecessary nodes. So delete dummy1. And yeah. Pretty much done. Took me a while. Here's the actual solution, or I guess the one that the instructor came up with. And it definitely looks pretty clean. It looks cleaner. But mine gets the job done. Pretty happy overall. This coding is so weird. It's like the manipulation of a bunch of words, variables, and whatnot. Like I would never expect it to be how it is. But it's pretty cool, and it's like it's so complex, but also like simple at the same time. But yeah, I thought I had a hard time with partition lists, but dude, reverse between was actually making me want to blow my brains out. Um, I took a break for a couple days because it was stressing me out that much. But I had a fun time. Moving on to the next one now.